Hello there, it is Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day today, 21st of September. Welcome to Joy News Today. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, 12 persons arrested in connection with Chereponi disturbances over the release of the list of MMDCE nominees. We'll get the details from police in the Northeast region. Fix the Country movement takes to the streets of the Western Regional Capital to demand that managers of the country put Ghana back on track. We'll check with the demonstrators for the very latest. And as the world commemorates International Peace Day today, UN resident to Ghana commends National Peace Council and the people of the country for every efforts aimed at sustaining the peace in Ghana. We have business, sports, and the latest in world news, all coming up in this 60 minutes package. My name is Mama Vioso Abuaje. Thanks for your company.
Hello, my name is Evans Mensah, and you can relive all the fun and excitement on Top Story, Newsnight, and of course, Ghana Connect via podcast. All you need to do is to log on to my Joy Online/podcast. Search for your favorite show and relive the moment. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Now, 12 persons have been picked up in connection with disturbances recorded in Chereponi following the release of the list of MMDCE nominees. Some supporters of the New Patriotic Party in Chereponi and the East Mamprusi districts of the Northeast region last Sunday went on rampage as soon as the official list was released, attacking some executives of the party in the constituency and vandalizing party property over what they described as the imposition of district chief executives on them. The police has since been on a manhunt for the perpetrators of Sunday's violence and has successfully apprehended a number of them. The acting public relations officer of the Northeast Regional Police, ASP Robert Anabek Angman, confirmed the arrest to Joy News.
We were picked up this morning in the various houses. We are still on manhunt for the rest who are involved, but we are doing intelligence-led briefing to arrest those people who are actually involved, but not just to arrest any other person who, may not be linked, but will be picked just for the purpose of it. But we are trying our best to make sure that all those people are arrested. They have something to do with the violence that occurred on that day. We've analyzed the video that was circulated, and we've been able to identify them. Some of them in the video and some of them that we have evidence that they are linked to the case, they were arrested.
How many more in all are you looking for?
That I can't give an exact number. As far as when we are able to get them, we will let you.
Meanwhile, the disappointed MC aspirant for Chereponi is demanding the immediate release of the suspects. And in a related development, Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, Dan Buche, says individuals who object to the list of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives nominated had no basis to hit the streets to cause chaos. He told Evans Mensah on PM Express Monday the president has the legal backing to either accept or reject any person recommended by the selection committee for the role of MMDCE.
Absolutely no basis for the disorderly behavior of some people. But thank God you're talking about only 1 or 2 places out of the 260. Yes, that maybe this whole business of negative news is more news. That's why. Other than that, for me, if you have 260 nominations and for 260 districts, and you have only 1 or 2 places where there have been some disorderly conduct, it's not something that we should lose focus at all. But certainly, the law should take its course. There's nothing like because you're a party person or because it's about political issues, you can decide to go against the law and people should allow you to go. There's absolutely no justification about it. President is supposed to make appointments. He's made appointments. That's it.
In the case, there are other places where, yes, there haven't been violence, but we've had community members say, but this is not a man that we anticipated. And we just did the graphical representation there. First, I need to understand, why did the party decide to use this approach of vetting people? Because we're not obliged to.
There's no party business in this. Article 243, 1. Local Governance Act, clear. Section 20. Is the president who appoints the chief executive. There's no law that I know of or regulation that tells how Mr. President should go through the process. That he should form a committee, he should have a vetting process. There's no law. So it's the president who should make the appointment. He decides that in the case of maybe the chief executive, 260 people. So some people have expressed interest and he wants to listen to them. It's a way of also getting data of the rich human resource that we have. So he decides to, employ that process.
Meanwhile, government has indicated it will, in a matter of weeks, inaugurate the Guan districts. The people of Santro, Kofi, Akwafu, Lolobi, and Likpe traditional areas have since 2019 been without an administrative district after the Oti region was carved from the Volta region. But the minister says all is set for that inauguration.
About the decision by the Electoral Commission for them not to take part in some voting process. But that's for Electoral Commission. The pact that Mr. President had with them was a promise he made that he'll make sure that they get a district. Yes. And Mr. President has signed it until ultimately the district. Then we had to go to elections. After which this whole business of why didn't they take part in elections happened and all that. And under that circumstance, it was not easy, to just carry on with that exercise. Because people still felt that the main issue was the parliamentary elections. So when we were appointed and went to ministry, we got back, because fortunately for some of us, these were the people we were dealing with in the regional reorganization, as to the referendum that they all voted and moved to Oti region. So we had to deal with them, and we had to build consensus. They themselves have a joint coordinating committee, and they started meeting and brought a report. There's a report they brought this year to me as to where they wanted to have the, the district capital.
Oh, the capital.
Yes. But I thought finally, Mr. President, when he issued this instrument, gave it to Lekpe. Fine. Then they started, very encouragingly coming out with the places where they can have as offices before government puts up permanent buildings. And many of the traditional areas offered some of these facilities to us. So finally, we had to talk to them and agree on a date so that we can pay a visit and have that consultation. And we had a very good meeting.
Chairman of the National Peace Council has warned against taking for granted strides Ghana has made in sustaining its peace. According to Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, the threats against the peace the country is currently experiencing is not too far from us. Thus, he's urging all citizens to do everything possible to protect and maintain the prevailing peace. Dr. Edujemfi was speaking at an event to commemorate International Peace Day, also known as World Peace Day.
NDC and MPP and produce a roadmap and a code of conduct to guide political behavior before, during, and after the last elections. The Council thereafter undertook a nationwide advocacy and sensitization of the general public on the anti-vigilantism law and the code of conduct for political parties, and the signing of the Presidential Peace Pact as a means to guaranteeing peace before, during, and after the election. This led to generally peaceful elections. Indeed, we did not record any act of vigilantism during the elections. Regrettably, however, some people died in the post-election violence during the collation of results. This is a dent on our democratic credibility and should not be allowed to fester. At a post-election dialogue in Adan earlier this year, participants, which included the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Majority and Minority Leader of Parliament, Chairmen and General Secretaries of the NPP, NDC, representatives of the CPP and PNC, members of the security services, donor partners, civil society organizations, academia, electoral commission, judiciary, the National Peace Council, among others. We resolved to ensure that these unfortunate events do not happen again in this country. Your Excellencies, another threat to Ghana's peace is what has become known as violent extremism and terrorism. Currently, in the West African sub-region, violent extremism and violent extremists are gaining ground. Burkina Faso, Ghana's northern neighbor, has had to battle violent extremists for some time now. It is important that we in Ghana take steps to consolidate our peace and intentionally close any gaps, such as unemployment, fundamentalism, maladministration, that could allow for the growth of violent extremism in the country. Collectively, it is the duty of every Ghanaian to work towards protecting the peace we are enjoying in this country. We call on fellow citizens to report any suspicious activity to the relevant law enforcement agencies for the necessary action to be taken.
Speaking at the same event, UN Resident Coordinator to Ghana, Dr. Charles Abani, commended Ghana for all the efforts being put in to keep the existing peace.
As we seek peace among and within nations, we need to seek peace with our planet too. Extreme weather, melting glaciers, rising sea levels, a polluted air and water threatens our very existence. As we prepare for the UN Climate Conference in Glasgow, keep pushing governments to commit to net zero emissions by the middle of the century. Bolder, more ambitious 2030 climate plans. No new coal plants after 2021. Phasing out fossil fuels and supporting developing countries in their transition to green economies. Dear students, as we envisage our world after the pandemic, we cannot go back to what it was. With your help, we can recover better and stronger. We can transform economies, and we can plant the seeds for peace and progress in our human family.
Now, Fix the Country campaigners have taken their street protests to the Western Region capital to drum home their demands for better management of the country and the drafting of a new constitution. Conveners of the movement say they will not relax until they see the country moving towards a positive direction. Some of them spoke to Joy News.
Well, as you can see, I have been advocating for changing our constitution and changing our system for so long. And I believe that Accra is not the only place in Ghana. In fact, what you people don't know is that part of me comes from the, let's say, the Central and Western region. My father came to school in St. Mary's. I used to come to Bensu and its environs when I was a child. So anything that concerns the Western region concerns me as well. So I couldn't have said I joined the demonstration in Accra, and that is all, to register my displeasure. Everywhere Fix the Country, they call us to come and give them a platform for the people to voice out their grievances to the leadership of this country. I will be there to support them in vigor and in vim. The people to be out in their numbers to tell the leadership of this country, both past and present, that we are tired of substandard governance, that we are tired of governance that has no plan. We are tired of directionless leadership. We are tired of substandard leadership. We are tired of Amemwo Fo, Amemwo Kankai, for the past 30 years. That is what we are waiting for the youth of Western region to come and tell them. We are telling them that enough of the political pettiness, that the NDC will not continue the projects of MPP out of political pettiness. MPP will not continue the projects of NDC out of political pettiness. Techiman and Western region actually is where Ghana started from. If I say that, right from the time when the white man was coming down through Ayana Techiman from Liverpool, Techiman is the first place that got light, electricity in Ghana. So it cannot be that a region that we actually exploit oil from, this is the region. When I came here, you can see the level of hopelessness in the eyes of the youth in this region. The youth do not have jobs. The youth have nothing. They don't know where they are going. Education is nothing to write home about. Now there is a insecurity issues on the rise. We've sat here. 4 of our women were abducted last year. This year, there is another one that a pregnant woman has been held hostage, and the leadership of this country, they are pretending as if they've not heard anything. Now we are going to give a voice to the Takrady people, to the Western region people, to the Sekandi people, to the Inche, Asankragwa, Impo, Wasa, Ekopo, Bodi, Abodia Boase. We are expecting them to be here in their numbers to register their displeasure.
Market is not good. Everybody was complaining about money. Everybody was complaining about anything because anything is wrong. So you want the government to fix the system for the country. But it belongs to us. We don't have any place to go. So you want the government to fix our own nation. The Ghana belongs to Ghanaians. It don't belong to any Aborian country, any different country. So that's what this morning I'm here.
So what are your expectations this morning?
Well, my expectation is I want the government to fix the system. Only system. But now everything makes sense. I'm from Axi.
Scores of residents of Agape Top at the Central Municipality of the Greater Accra region have been forced to seek refuge under makeshift structures after their homes were taken over by floods. Roads in the community were also flooded, making it difficult for the residents to access other parts of the capital. They are appealing to the government to construct roads and drainage systems to help ease their situation. Mamiesi Thompson was in the community and came through with this report.
The sad story of 50-year-old Mamin Kran. She spent her entire life savings to put up this apartment to house herself and her 4 children. She's operated this tabletop provision store to help with her upkeep and that of her children for many years. But that story completely changed last week after heavy rains. When it rained, we couldn't have access to the house because of the flood. All my belongings are destroyed.
Provisions.
We need government to construct the drains. She's been forced out of her home and now taking shelter in a kiosk after her apartment was taken over by floods. Now the rains have taken over my house. I am currently perching in a kiosk. Bathing has even become a chore. My children now live with friends.
28.
Okay.
And
17 years. Her business almost collapsed after losing almost everything in the floods. Half of the food items I sell is spoiled. She's one of many who have had their homes flooded in the Agape Top area a week after the rains. 54-year-old trader Agnes Sam and her neighbor Ejase lost all of their belongings to the floods. The volume of water that entered our house was so much. Now I don't even know what to do. The rains have destroyed my life savings.
So ni tire ma edan bi si mfinfin ho no mam say ka be about 5 feet ne do roofing level ntina say.
The waters rushed in with such force and broke down my walls, forcing its way into my hall and bedroom.
Gate na dey chire ne wura mu kogura
In the next minute, my whole hall was flooded.
Many homes are in water, whilst roads in the community have been left unmotorable. Reverend Charles Kumson is one of the opinion leaders in the community.
Road here, usually the water will pass here so that the one down here will be reduced. But the people in this area have also blocked here. So the road, the water cannot go. And this is only the escape route when the place is flooded, where the other trucks and cars can use to their various homes and then the community down there. So I'm taking you to another side where the flood has caused damage. About 6 years now. It started very small, but as time goes on, the flood increases because people were building. And then the assembly, who has oversight responsibility of the development here, will not do anything than to write produce permits. So the roads continue to be blocked by some few people, not many people, few people. So this is supposed to be the main road from Agape Junction. Look at how the road has been reduced to.
The Berean Academy caters for needy children, but it's been forced to ask some pupils to stay at home as they try to deal with the floods in their classrooms. It is the worst devastation in the community since many started living here more than 20 years ago. Some residents lay blame squarely at the doorstep of the Gas Central Municipal Assembly.
A lot of people have even lost their building to the flooding. You look at there, you can't even go there. The buildings are in the water. So the problem is from two angles. Some of the residents that are building on the waterways, and then number two, the district assembly's inability to pull those structures down. Because how do you wait for one people to hijack the entire community? When it rains, you can't go out, you can't even come in.
When rain fall like this, we can't drive. The road is very, very bad. People have been coming for interview every day, day and night, and we don't see anything. So I hope you people are going to do something about it, and we call upon the government to come and help us. We are suffering for this road. So.
Oh, Agape top here. We have a very big problem here. Every day, you don't have any road, even footpath to pass on it. If you see that around, everybody in this around have a problem because anytime it rainfall, you don't have a place to sleep. You pour every TV, even Ketai, that's a crowd about. We have a financial problem, even road problem, hospital, school, market, everything. This place is none. We don't have anything. We are always voting for a MPP political party. But now we are not talking about the political party. We are talking about ourselves. Everybody needs a development. That is why we are voting for a government.
And the situation, government to come to our aid because we are suffering. Like we are not among the Ghanaians. Government to come and help us. For here, for several years, look at this village is for a long time village. But look now, you can see from Ashalaja going all 10 to town, and we are still in the forest. We don't know what is happening.
A social media campaign dubbed Fix Agape Roads Now have so far not been able to get the attention of authorities. Assemblywoman Gertrude Freema informed me through a phone call that she will soon meet with residents to come up with a solution.
We are meeting with the MP, the engineers, and we'll be discussing the way forward on the flooding situation.
For now, the residents say they can only be hopeful that government will hear their cry and come to their aid sometime soon. Mamiesi Thompson, Joy News, Agape, Accra.
We head to Techiman now, where some traders in the Techiman Central Market say they may be forced not to pay tolls to city authorities in protest of unsanitary conditions there. The traders fear neglect of the situation could lead to an outbreak of diseases in the market. Anat Sabit has more in the following report.
So we are into the Techiman Central Market. Behind me is the refuse site, serving the entire area. The people here are worried about the insanitary conditions of the market. They are selling all sort of food items just by the refuse site. And this, according to the traders here, is causing a lot of health threats to themselves and their customers.
People come around to take pictures of this refuse site to show to Nanado and those in authority, yet nothing happens. This is where we eat and sometimes we even sleep here. When it rains, the rain washes down the refuse to where we trade, and the stench alone is worrying, and this may even lead to disease outbreak. With majority of the food crops sold in major market centers in Accra and Kumasi coming from this market, Akosua Nimwa says the situation may lead to the outbreak of diseases if not checked. I have cholera as I speak. I'm battling with stomach pains because this is where we do almost everything. So we are appealing to authorities to come to our aid by evacuating this refuse from here. Almost all the food items sold in Accra are purchased from here, so we beg them to come to our aid.
To some of the people here, if something urgent is not being done about the insanitary conditions here, they'll stop paying market tolls because for them, these tolls are not used for the purposes for which they are being taken.
This refuse only gives us diseases. By the time we return to our homes, we go with sicknesses. When you come here, you say we should pay market tolls, yet we don't see any meaningful thing from the payments. They just spend their money. They say if the situation continues, they'll have no option but to stop paying market tolls going forward. We'll stop paying. We won't pay again. We won't until they evacuate this refuse from here.
They also want authorities to fix the road leading to this place because according to them, the almost travel nature of the road is leading to a lot of trucks being stuck here during market days. This is a sort of worry for the people around this place.
From this end to the roadside, the huge cargo cars get stuck due to the bad nature of the road. The drivers do suffer a lot.
They are therefore calling on authorities to come to their aid by evacuating this refuse regularly to save the people from falling ill as a result of the insanitary conditions here.
Mr. President, this is Mami Fati. Please help us in the name of God. This is where we eat. We have to clean feces every day before eating. We beg you in God's name to come to our aid.
Kakra ye bedinti ya pa de wa wani tua se bibi we nya bi ne be kan tro se wote ho abeyare nanso ye nim kakra ye bedinti e wo nti ye sre wo on momwaye.
From the Techiman Central Market for Joy News, my name is Anasabit reporting.
The world of preterm babies is a very precarious one due to the intensive care they need to survive to full term. This is mainly due to the numerous complications that tend to arise, especially during the baby's stay in the incubator, which in most cases cannot be addressed because of limited care. The premature baby, after surviving for 2 or more weeks in the incubator, now struggles with feeding and other health-related issues. In the following report, Joy News' Nesta Kafui-Achuma explores the critical issue of caring for the nutrition needs of a preterm baby.
Whilst families might seriously be concentrating on the survival of their preterm babies, most people ignore the nutrition needs of the babies. In some cases, parents find solace in artificial feed to enhance quick growth of their preterm babies. But the head of neonatal intensive care unit at Wenchi Methodist Hospital, Dr. Vera Achiadako, rejects the use of the artificial feed. She says breast milk contains antibodies which protects the baby against infections. It comes at the right temperature and needs no warming. It is cheap and also enhances bonding between the baby and mother.
It is a misconception that it is only canned foods that can help give the baby full nutrition. It is a misconception. The best you can give a baby growing up is breast milk. Breast milk contains all that the baby needs. It contains the glucose, it contains fat, it contains immunoglobulins. All the canned foods can mimic a bit of glucose, a bit of fat, but the immunoglobulins that the mother can transfer to the infant, it is only through the breast milk that a mother can give to the infant. And so when it comes to caring for a preterm baby, it is breast milk, and that is the most complete nutrition you can give.
Some mothers shared their experience.
I didn't want to complicate myself, so I did exclusive breastfeeding for 5 months. Okay. Yeah. So financially, I didn't face any problem since it was exclusive. The breast milk always there. Yeah. So for financial side, because I was not buying anything, I didn't face any challenges there. So I would advise the mothers to do the exclusive breastfeeding.
You call any day, I'm not a journey here. Concomo John Cow, Dibia, now for none or no, sir, Pepim, and now, dear. I'm going to make a show myself. And you concomo John around crying. If say no phone, so now Dr. Fonibasa or mobile, one catcher, I say, yeah, and for no phone, so no more, Mosan. I know you're patching Concomo John go also, all the manner. Wait, Mamma, a chronic problem, wait, Mamma, you're really.
Preterm babies can survive. Preterm babies needed to be given the appropriate care. Preterm babies should be protected, kept warm, and above all, should be exclusively breastfed. Preterm babies should be sent for the routine postnatal care. When all these things are done, they can also thrive even better than the term babies. I am Nesta Kafui Ajuma, reporting from the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit of the Wenchi Methodist Hospital in the Bunu region, and I pledge to facilitate the survival of preterm babies. What about you?
You're watching Joy News today. Stay with us. We've got business coming up shortly.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Atto. You can catch up with all the fun and inspiration on the Joy Sports link here on Joy 99.7 FM, together with all other shows over and over again. It's very simple. All you need to do is go to myjoyonline.com/podcast and relive all of those fun moments over and over again. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
In business, government will launch the National Critical Information Infrastructure Directive next month, a move that will aid the fight against cyber crimes. According to the Communications and Digitization Minister, Esla Owusu-Ekofo, preparations are almost complete to ensure resilience against cyber attacks. She was speaking at the opening ceremony of the one-week residential training on artificial intelligence with career guidance for girls in ICT. Tertiary Schools edition supported by Huawei Ghana.
The Ministry of Communications and Digitalization has disclosed that the Critical Information Infrastructure Act will be effected next month. Speaking on the sidelines of the residential training on artificial intelligence with career guidance for girls in tertiary schools, the Minister, Esla Owusu-Ekofo, stated that the act will be launched as part of cybersecurity celebrations in October.
We've identified over 150 sectors
companies that are critical to the survival of our country, and which, if attacked, if they suffer a cyber attack, will cripple our country's socioeconomic development. And so once designated, the Cybersecurity Center will work with you, and if they prescribe measures and you do not abide by them, they are empowered to issue administrative penalties to ensure our collective security. So that's what we'll do, the designation this week, and then the whole program will be launched during the Cybersecurity Month celebrations next month, and then we'll start working with the sectors to bring up their systems to acceptable international levels. So we're giving effect to the Cybersecurity Act, which was passed in December last year.
As part of actualizing the Women for Tech initiative, Huawei Technologies, in collaboration with the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, has organized a week's residential training on artificial intelligence with career guidance for girls in tertiary schools at the Kofi Annan Center for ICT. Here is Director of Public Relations at Huawei, Jenny Zhou.
For this year, we noticed that for Ministry of Communications, they also put a lot of effort on girls in ICT. So we also noticed that girls can play a very important role in the ICT domain. So that's why we are here. We want to partner with MOCD, Ministry of Communication and Utilizations, on the trainings of the girls in Ghanaians. So we all know that in this utilization of Ghana, so the girls in Ghana, they must be equipment with themselves with the ICT, so which can also very key driver to the digitalization of Ghana. So that's why we sponsorship a lot of events or training or mentorship or career guidance. So we wish that all of the girls in Ghana, they can get a very world standard certifications, and then can make them to not only work in Ghana, but also to work in some more international companies.
And that's all in business. Stay with us. We'll come back with world news.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
Coming up shortly is sports with Oreku Ampofo.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the sports segment with me, Oreku Ampofo. The Black Queens bounced back from defeat against South Africa to beat Cameroon in their second match of the maiden Aisha Buhari Cup. Ghana defeated Cameroon 2-0 in Lagos, and head coach Mercy Tego was confident that his team would redeem her image in the second game of the tournament.
Incidentally, both sides brought new and fresh legs into this game, trying to test the pulse and see how best everybody can fix her team. My team, for instance, like I told you the last time, South Africa being our sisters and girlfriends and whatever, they brought almost all the stars. And we all know Thembi Katlana, what she can do and what she's doing and what she will continue to do. I respect them so much because they have taken the women's football to a certain level that we all have to look at it and emulate. We are joking, believe you me, we are joking. We do this today, tomorrow we go and sleep. The next time when we are called, then we wake up and we think we will get there. When you sleep, others will wake up and do it for you to see. That's exactly what South Africa did to us. Aside of that, my full professionals that I rely on, most of them, like I said, are in season, so they could not come. You guys heard a lot of stories, but then we are in the soup, so I can tell you the truth. Most of them were busy and they could not come. The few that I had, blended with the local girls, have really proved that they can do it when they get the opportunity. And it's like all about psyche. I told them, if South Africa beat us, they are just like women as Ghanaians. So they should also tune their mind. What they were doing on the field, they could do it during Cameroon game. And that's exactly what they do.
From football, let's do some golf, where unstoppable Yao Dogbe and evergreen Cynthia Nantechi stole the show at this year's CalBank Open Golf Championship. We do have more for you in the following reports by Joy Sports' Asari Bediako.
A record 167 golfers dotted across the country competed in the 2021 edition of the CalBank Open Golf Championship, which came off on the Achimota Golf Course over the weekend. Top golfers from elite clubs in the country participated in an 18-hole competition. At the end of an enthralling contest, it was unstoppable Yao Dogbe who emerged winner of the men's category after a gross score of 67. He shrugged off the challenge of Charles Dakwa and Daniel Asumeni to clinch the coveted trophy.
Oh, I feel so good. Okay. Yeah, I feel so not okay. I feel so good winning those trophies. I can't say it wasn't that difficult, though I wasn't playing with my opponent. I was playing with the course. When you come to golf, you don't have to play with your opponent. You have to challenge the golf course. So it wasn't that difficult to me today. I was going for my best, and I'm trying to do my best.
Yao Dogbe is pleased with his achievement. Cynthia Nantechi emerged overall winner of the women's category with a gross score of 83.
Oh, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to win CalBank Open. I'm very happy because I'm their customer. So I'm happy to win CalBank Open. I'm very happy because I'm surprised. I wasn't here to win, but it came by surprise. Yeah. I will return. I will return next year. I will be a winner next year.
I love her confidence, and do enjoy your holidays. That's how we wrap up the sport here. My name is Oreku Wampofo.
Hi, this is Lexus Bill, host of Drive Time on Joy 99.7 FM. Listen, you don't have to worry if you miss Drive Time or Personality Profile. It's going to be live on our podcast page. Just log on to www.myjoyonline.com/podcast. You can listen to Drive Time, Personality Profile, and any other of your favorite shows on Joy FM on that page. You don't have to miss a show at all. Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Welcome to Show Business News. It was yet another thrilling tour on Joy Prime Explore as show host Kojo Yang Singh took viewers on a breathtaking trip across the Lake Volta in the brand new Volta River Authority's Dodi Princess 2. The Volta River Authority has renovated and brought it back with a bang with interesting surprises. Here's an excerpt of the voyage aired on Joy Prime.
Well, the Volta Hotel has recently awakened a giant from the dead. The Dodi Princess was the jewel of the Volta Lake. The only cruise ship in Ghana sailed millions of passengers across the serene waters of the Volta Lake over a 30-year period until it mysteriously burned to a cinder in 2013. Today, though, that magical experience has been lovingly recreated on the Dodi Princess II. It's certainly no mean feat keeping a massive vessel like this afloat.
So for us, it's about the experience and not just about the cruising. So it's the experience that we are selling out, the experience that we are marketing. The experience is water-centered. The experience is domestic tourism. The experience is adventure. The experience is the thrills that you come here and feel. Okay.
Should you see anybody going inside the water or falling off, or if you see anybody inside the water, you only see a head, a round ball, and maybe flicking a hand, calling for help. If you see that, please scream, man overboard, man overboard, man overboard.
The experience has been great. The scenery is fine. They have a section for kids where your kids will be entertained. Adults too can be also entertained upstairs with a high life band. So far we are having fun.
notice he keeps pushing that
Pushing, yeah,
thing.
that is the steering.
That little knob, the black knob there, that's the steering for this entire vessel. They call it joystick. Joystick, of course. Wow.
Captain. Yeah.
Great shots. Thank you.
So this is our destination, Dodi Island. It's our destination. All right, so we have about 600 inhabitants on the island. They are basically Ewes, okay? Then they are also farmers and fishermen. This is a female. So the male died and the husband died and is left with the wife. So it's a widow. Oh, it's a widow. So, but then we will try and get some more.
What is the history of Dodi Island?
So let me say he actually founded the island. He actually was the one who brought it back. So he moves from Accra out of all the stress and the noise making to the island to just come and settle down to release some stress. So you see some buildings on there which are basically around in nature. So that's where he comes to lodge and settle down and calm down. When you go to the other side of the island, there's a place called the Rollins Bay. So like a small beach where he comes to do swimming. He loves to swim. He loves to also party on a boat and all that. He's very adventurous.
Well, I promised you adventure, and this most certainly has been a wonderful adventure. Right here from the middle of the Volta Lake, we now embark on what will become a regular trip out into the beauty of our nation, our sub-region, and the world as a whole. I am so excited that you and I are going to be exploring the beauties of this planet together. But there's no other place, no better place to begin than right here, where it all began. Kwame Nkrumah's jewel of Ghana, the Akosombo Dam and the Volta River. And our special thanks, of course, to everybody who has made this possible, including the wonderful people of the Dodi Princess. Thank you.
Just a sneak peek of what happens on Joy Prime Explore. That's your show business this hour. Well, thanks for your company in this hour. Joy News Today is back on air tomorrow, God willing. My name is Mama Vioswabuaji. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. Whatever you do to celebrate Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day, please keep safe.